It's showtime.
Welcome back to KOTOR, guys. We are in Korriban. We just went to this skeleton right here. I'm gonna read this data pad because it's pretty important. Appears to be the journal of a Sith who quite obviously did not make it past the portion of his final test. Most of the journal consists of the Sith's account of gaining enough prestige with Master Uthar to take this test. Only the final entry appears to concern the test itself. It seems I need to get across the pool of acid in the central terminal if I'm to complete my test here, but this is not going to be easy. The runes name one obelisk the Pillar of Fire, while the other is the Pillar of Ice. I can only assume that one of the pillars leads to a way to remove the acid pool. Fire or ice? Wouldn't fire create toxic fumes? I'm not sure. Maybe freezing the pool would be safer. Well, I'll worry about that once I bypass the 10 Tarenturag beasts. If I can. I suppose it's now or never. And he died. So that is the doorway to the pool of acid. We're gonna have to go find those pillars, go through them first, and then we're gonna get past that area. Alright, so this is an interesting area where we have these 3 columns, and pretty much all we need to do is Zabrak Blaster Pistol. That's nice. Let's just check out that pistol first. So 4 to 9 times 2, 20% chance, attack modifier plus 3, staple of the Zabrak Mercenary. So pretty much we have to align these 3 pillars. So you see like all the different colors. We're gonna align the colors from that one pillar on the far left to the far right. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna fast forward this footage pretty quickly, but once we do this, then we can gain access to this pillar area. So I'm going to fast forward it right now. Pretty much it's really fairly easy, but I'll show you guys a little bit of how it plays out, and then I'll just fast forward the footage. Fast forward a little bit more. I faced a couple more beasts, and we got some Aradu Strength Amplifier, which is nice. Definitely want to check that out. So that is Strength plus 2. It does give me a better attack modifier, but I do need Dexterity at the same time. I think it is honestly better to get Dexterity plus 1, as I have a better chance at life and defense, to be honest. So I'm just going to equip that for now, and this is Nagasadao's Poison Blade. Okay, so 4 to 15, average damage 25, attack modifier plus 3. The mere presence of Dark Lord Nagasadao will come to imbue his personal weapon with the taint he carried, poison as his spirit was. Okay, so that is pretty cool. Just found a poison blade. Now we don't find actually the pillar itself. That's actually on the other side, and we're gonna have to face a couple of Tarenturag beasts. But I wanted to show off this pool of acid because I didn't show this off earlier. So this is the pool of acid. We're gonna have to use 2 different items once we get to the pillars itself. But we have to face the Tarenturag beasts first. Get past them. There's actually 2 beasts we have to face, and then we can get to the pillars. I had a strategy going in, set up mines, put my shield up. I had to restart the save twice because I messed up my strategy, and the mines would not really help at all. And I would actually do a good chunk of damage towards them. I mean, it's pretty like I have to say I really held my own against both of these beasts, considering it's just me and not like my two teammates against two of these damn things. So I luckily got him. Now I have to heal myself. That's the only bad thing. Fortunately, I was able to get 2 grenades and I was able to concuss that guy, which is nice because now it leads me to kill him, which is great. Now I have to heal myself constantly and then hopefully just kill him. Whew, by the skin of my teeth, I was able to beat him, man. Whew, that was extremely close. So this is an interesting human remains right here. This actually shows Sheila's journal, and this is where she died, and we get the crystal Solari, which is nice too. I do want to read this journal because it's actually pretty interesting. Sheila's journal. This is the Jedi Sheila Nur. Her last entry is particularly compelling. I have tracked the Tarantarak that ambushed us in the Chirac caves up in the tomb, but even as I stand at the entrance, I know this is wrong. Dark thoughts fill my mind, hatred and vengeance. I cannot stop myself from blaming Goon Han for Duran's death. If he had not abandoned us, my love would surely have survived the Tarantarak's first attack. So she's blaming Goon Han. But my hatred of Goon Han pales beside my burning desire for revenge on the Tarantarak beast itself. So she does have hatred for Goon Han. That's interesting. My blood boils to destroy the creature that ended Duran's life, no matter what the cost. I know such thoughts are those of the dark side, but I cannot help them. Even the second set of tracks outside the cave cannot dissuade me from my task. One Tarantarak, 2, 1,000. One Tarantarak, 2, 1,000. It makes no difference to me now. The only image I see is that of Duran's broken body, and only blood can cleanse it from my mind. I hope my master will forgive me for what I'm about to do. So I really like this entry, and based on the entry of Kay, Duran, and Goon Han's entries, just the datapads alone, they were able to forge a great expanded universe story in the Star Wars Tales series. I do recommend it. I highly recommend that story. It's really, really great. She's actually the lover of the Keldromo guy. I think it was not Kay. I forget the other guy's name. He's the cousin of Ulic and Kay Keldromo, pretty much. So I'm going to be testing out, showing you guys what happens when I use the fire grenade first, just to show this off. The grenade explodes in a wave of heat, nauseous fumes, or to kill you. They're already poisonous. So the fire grenade you do not use at all, and I reload the save, and you use cold grenade instead, and that will actually freeze the area and you're able to pass. And there you go. So I'm able to pass the area. So this is not Naga Sadao's first tomb. His real tomb is actually in Yavin 4, but this is sort of like a fake tomb in a way. just to, you know, dissuade people. It's a trap tomb almost, but it's meant to mask this thing right here, the star map. Alright, so we got one more to go, and that's in Manan, and that's all of the star maps we have to do. And there is something on that Sith statue, but and that is a Sith lightsaber, which we really don't even need. We just have to give it to that guy. We just have to give it to the Sith Lord and show him that we have proof that we got the lightsaber and everything. So there's a couple of ways you can do this once you talk to them.
With the lightsaber in hand, as I knew you would.
The Force has served you well.
You took a great risk in acquiring the artifact. You used your mind and your power. No peaceful meditation, no pacifism. Sometimes you must fight in order to achieve. This gives you your passion. This makes you stronger. This is what makes you superior. That is the lesson we teach with that part of the final test. Do you understand? When a Jedi acts, it is with skill, true. But the Jedi teach you that your passions are counterproductive. That strength is only found in peace. Did you not feel a moment of excitement in the tomb? Did your passions not flow and make you feel stronger and more alive? What purpose would be served by restricting yourself from such? I would say only the purpose of the Jedi. Through this, they would control you and restrict your potential. True, but most would say they fight only when they must, or not at all. We are the ones who know that struggle is what makes us superior. Perhaps not to someone of your natural strength. The point is in the recognition of the nature of the act, rather than its sheer difficulty. If you came to the Academy, you must have felt the stirrings within you that cry out for the freedom of the dark side, that cry out for release. I can only show you the path that will lead to power and superiority. You have followed it this far. You must decide if you are capable of continuing. This is where your path ends, young one. There is no turning back once you have embarked on it. Good. The last part of your test will now commence. Here, you will learn the lesson of competition. All life must compete in order to flourish. Such is the natural way of the universe. To stand still is to know death. One must always be moving forward. So it is the same amongst the Sith. Compete or die. Mercy is irrelevant. So it behooves you in this final test to strike down one you are familiar with, for no other reason than to prove you are superior, and without mercy. Normally, this would be against another student. You, however, get a special treat. You will fight Uthura here, my own apprentice.
What? So this is what you had planned all along? You wish me killed?
Indeed. You have become too ambitious, Uthura. It is time for you to die, and someone more talented to take your place.
It is time for you.
So you can actually join with either of these guys and to fight against the other, but you will end up fighting that other person at the same time at the end. Or you can actually fight them both. Say you're both mistaken, I choose me, because I am either light or dark side. You can actually choose like, I'm tired of playing along with you, you both die. You can do, that's a dark side choice. If you're both mistaken, I choose me. Then I would fight both of them at the same time, which I do not want to do. I get my ass handed to me. But I can choose one over the other, and they can both... Basically, I sided with Uthura to make it easier for me, because Uthura is pretty hard by himself. So basically, I can have a Sith Master help me to fight another Sith Master, so I basically fight him, and then I can actually fight her a little bit later and by herself. So that would be much easier than fighting Uthar by himself. And I can also choose the option where I fight both of them at the same time, which is kind of suicide. I do not recommend that, to be honest. It's really, really tough. I have to be really advanced for that. And I think I am, but I do not recommend it. So Senegar, Warsu, security, and 3,000 credits. Awesome.
Uthar is finished.
So let's talk to her.
You, unfortunately for you, I don't intend to share power. It's time for you to die. As if I would ever believe that.
Alright, so I still have to fight her in the end. It doesn't matter. But I can beat her. She is a lot easier to fight than Uthar by himself, that's for sure.
Stop. You are too strong for me. As I thought, you are no Sith. A real Sith would have no hesitation in striking me down. Then I hope you got what you came to the Academy for, whatever that was. I was right the first time back at the cantina, wasn't I? There is something strange about you. More so than I even suspected. Your path leads elsewhere to a destiny I can only guess at. Whatever it is does not involve joining the Sith. Not yet, at least. Go then. Go and leave here. I'll not stop you.
Okay, so we are done then. We got some light side points. I do want to check out my character. And I'm pretty high up there on the light side, man. It's pretty good. So I was correct. Okay, so Uthar would eventually turn on you after you would side with him to kill the other Uthara. So it doesn't matter what. Like you. So it doesn't matter. He would actually just turn on you no matter what. So that's stupid. Second choice involves Revan not allying with both of them. They would both attack him and are killed. Though, as a consequence though, Revan and his party will be attacked by everyone in the Academy and be forced to fight their way out. So, I could have done that, but I just didn't want to do that, to be honest. But eventually in the Jedi Civil War, after Malik is killed, everyone in the Korriban Academy would eventually fight against each other and basically, you know, destroy the whole Academy in the end. Now, interestingly enough, when they finds out what your identity is, Uthar, this is actually interesting. When he recognizes Revan, he secretly devotes his allegiance to him and vows to pledge the Academy to Revan should he successfully destroy Darth Malik. If you were to go down the dark side. Only after you tell Uthar that he is Darth Revan after defeating the Headmaster. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. I actually did not know about that. That's actually a really interesting choice, to be honest. Once you find out Revan and stuff like that, you'll understand later on once we get to that part. So it's just really sad, man. Her past is actually pretty sad, and really talking to her more, I just really feel for her. Like you know, all of the things that she's been through. It's just so sad. The feels, man.
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world. Free was sitting there, but the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream. I swore that I would become a Jedi. I swore I was money to do it. I bought passage and I to don't know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream. Someday I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on.
Alright, so we're gonna go back to the ship. There are a couple of times we're gonna go back to the ship, and these are gonna pop up. Just random people, and it's gonna be pretty... It's gonna be happening quite a lot, so you'll see. Because I'm gonna be changing teammates and seeing what happens. But pretty much we are done with Korriban. We're done with that planet completely. And for now, we're just gonna be talking to people and the rest of the, you know, party and stuff like that. But we're pretty much done with Korriban. We're just gonna be talking to people from this point on.
Yeah, I'll just bet. Damn, old man, you look exactly the same as the last time I saw you. You pickle well.
You're too kind. Not the young lad anymore yourself. What are you, deaf? His name's Davin. Old friend from my wanderer days. By the by, Davin, I really should be running off.
Of course, old man. Oh, wait. If you've been traveling in this sector, I suppose you heard about Sunry?
No, why? What's there to hear?
He's been picked up by the Selkath authorities.
So we're gonna have to go to Manon either way, and we're gonna help solve this case of Sunry.
Laura is beside herself, as you can imagine. Maybe you could help them. I'm sure Sunry would appreciate a Jedi's assistance right about now.
Perhaps I will at that. It's up to my friend here, actually. I'm just tagging along. I'd appreciate that. Sunry's an old friend. I'd hate to see him hurt.
Same here. Well, it was good to see you again. Give my regards to Alora if you see her.
I will. Be safe, old friend.
What the hell is your
So this guy is pretty biased against
all these other idiots, but
Juhani.
stinking KOTOR on this world too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
Ooh, big man. The Jedi shooting his mouth off from behind a lightsaber, or whatever you're carrying. Hiding behind your pet cat there. And a
So this guy's pretty sexist and racist. So fuck this guy. This guy's a regular fucking Nazi.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough that... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
What? You?
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead, and she likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me?
She is not for sale. She... well, what are you offering? If you do that choice, she will fucking hate your guts. But you can't do that. He will not... You can't do that. She will not, like, sell herself so easily.
Don't be so selfish. We both know Cathay.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Anyway, the females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taris.
What? What did you say? What did you do on Taris, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the auction block. But those darn Jedi.
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, now I recognize where I've seen that face before. You were the little Cathay I was.
So this is the guy. That's why he approached us, because he recognized her for some reason. Like, hey, you look a little different. You look pretty similar to me.
When I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the Cathay, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
You. The homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both...
So this guy is absolute fucking scum. She is not for scale, motherfucker. Show me the money first. Hell no. Hell no. You cannot sell her ass.
And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people.
hold on a second.
Now he's being like, oh, he's not feeling too big now after she's like, you know, I'm a Jedi too, motherfucker. I can kill your ass like
I
nothing.
will remain calm.
Shut up, motherfucker, and get the fuck out of here.
My lust for vengeance must.
So this guy, he deserves a killing. He deserves to die.
Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
My KOTOR blood seethes at the thought of that man still running free. I cannot stand still while I think about it, but I will not give in to the dark side either. He will pay for his crimes, though. He will most likely be following us. Me. If we could find him first, then he may not be able to set in motion whatever he has in store for us.
Got something on your mind, do you? I don't want to talk.
Well, you keep spouting out and talking so goddamn much, you might as well spill the beans.
Well enough, but my private affairs are just... Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away, to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten. You say that now, but I'm talking to you from across the breadth of many years' experience. That is a gap I simply can't cross for you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love? Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life. Perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of overcaution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely old man who's not even a Jedi. You do you? I wouldn't listen too closely. I'm no authority on anything. I just think that the greatest things in life shouldn't be avoided because they come with a few complications. Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. What determines the dark side's hold over you. I suppose it could. It would take a strong person to make that kind of commitment, I think. Someone with a great sense of self. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you and the one you love simply aren't meant to be together. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking in riddle. Got something on your... What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunray for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me,
Alright, we're talking to Bastila now.
I do. I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission.
That is
for my own
code
sake as
for
well.
I love you.
I'm glad you're with us.
What was that? I think I'm going deaf. You better say it again. Is that a compliment from you?
Well, yes. Surely that's not so surprising. Did I? I am trying to be sincere here. It occurred to me that I may have been too critical of you. Too demanding at times.
No shit. Thank you. I appreciate the gesture. May have been?
I know my manner can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really. That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. Maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I had to tell you how much I care for you. As a friend, of course. Please, it's not allowed. I have to remain true to the Jedi ideal. If this is going to cause a problem, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out. I feel much better. But enough soul-searching for now. We should probably
So I'm trying to explore all of the conversations before we actually get to the final point. So I'm constantly going back to the ship and outside. I'm going outside the ship and then back in the ship and talking to all my teammates like over and over again just to explore all of the choices pretty much. And the conversations, I should say.
Oh, is it? There are moments when I think you must be much older than you seem, but this isn't one of them. You know what I hate? Well, you know, lots of things really, but I'm old and easily annoyed, but that's besides the point. What I really hate are how most people view the Jedi. Everyone thinks that the Jedi are perfect, that they can do no wrong. They think the Jedi Council is completely incapable of injustice. I guess you aren't as stupid as you sometimes act. No doubt you've been on the receiving end of Jedi justice at least once, and I'm not even talking about how some of us fall to the dark side. No, that's plenty indication of our fallibility, but it's something else entirely. No, I'm talking about how more than often not, your average robe-wearing Jedi can try to do the right thing and still be completely wrong. No, the Jedi always treated me well. It would be foolish and untrue to say otherwise. That's not what I meant anyway. Come to think of it, I don't have to be clear. Someone my age is entitled to ramble, damn it. But for your sake, I'll tell you a little tale about a Jedi master I once knew. Hortath, I think. Or was it Hortoth? I could never get it straight. Where was I then? Oh yes, Master Hortath. He was a kindly old Jedi who meant well, but the most nearsighted thing in the Corps, I swear. He would walk into walls, knock over tables, mistake apprentices for rancor beasts, that sort of thing. And he was too proud to submit to proper treatment. Some used to counsel him and urge to use the Force, Master Hortath. Allow the Force to see for you. But he refused to believe that his eyes were failing. He simply squinted more and more as the years went on. The other Jedi resignedly passing it off as the amusing quirk of a compassionate old man. So, one day a young Padawan meets Master Hortath in the courtyard and, not knowing of his blindness, asks him for directions to the Council. Quite sure of himself, Hortath gave the lad directions, which happened to lead back outside and away from the Enclave. The Padawan is confused, naturally, and He asks if Master Hordath is sure, and of course Master Hordath says that he is. The Padawan suggests that perhaps he should ask someone else. But the proud Hordath now feels insulted. He tells the Padawan to take the route he prescribed and no other. Rather dejectedly, the Padawan did as he was told, and so ended up leaving the Jedi Order forever. It was decided that the boy's fate was to leave the Order anyway, though whether that was out of respect for Hordath or because the boy went on to something else, well, we'll never know. No, both of them were from before my time. Well before the Sith Wars, even. The tale is about blindness, and I thought the point was clear. At any rate, you think about it. You're the one who asked why the Jedi left me, remember? Now let's get going.
Oh, that went fucking nowhere. Fucking Jolie and his weird ass stories.
Your choice.
Ah, so we meet again, Canderous. It has been quite a long time.
Joggy? He was a warrior under my command up to the Battle of Althir. But I thought...
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought all of us that you had sent on that attack had perished. You sent us to die in a foolish attack, while you directed your forces elsewhere. You broke from the battle plan and let us die for it, so that you could have the honor of being the first to kill the enemy commander. That does not excuse what he did to us.
I did what was prudent at the time. If I had not done it, the battle would have...
The battle would have been won anyway. I am tired of your excuses, Canderous. I have spent years tracking you down since the clans were banished, and I will not rest until I've had my vengeance. I challenge you, Canderous. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the dune seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all. If you fail to meet me there, you shall be stripped of all honor and forever cast out of our society. It will be you and me alone in the dune seas of Tatooine. A final battle that can only end in death. I shall be waiting for you there, Canderous.
Alright, so we're gonna have to face this son of a bitch. Canderous is pissed. I'm sure he didn't even say a word. And we just ran into another person right away. How crazy is that?
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat! Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off!
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? You've got your facts a little backwards. Mission could have come with us if she wanted to. It was her choice to stay behind.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the Hutt spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back.
Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me, too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out. Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead.
So we have to go back to Tatooine again for the millionth time, but we have to talk to Griff, meet up with Griff, and we have to go to Candras's thing and complete that shit. So we have to go to Tatooine again for like the millionth fucking time. So I apologize for that. We're gonna do that again, shit. We're gonna do that shit again. Alright, so we have the spice. Yes, we do. 1,000. I want more of that shit. Come on. 1,500, but no more. It's okay, so we'll get 1,500 credits for that. He wants a delivery of a box that I hold was his, and the box, this box is interesting, so we'll get to this. This is actually a pretty interesting quest. What was the agreed upon? So I can get additional 2,000 for delivering this box. And this box is actually pretty interesting. We can actually explore this box and find out what it is once we get back on the ship. Make it... Ah, we can't do the make it 3,000. Make it 3,000. Okay, we can't do it. We have to negotiate with Moda, which probably won't happen, but we can at least get 2,000, which is a pretty good chunk. And this is actually a pretty interesting quest, so we'll get to this a lot later in the game. Okay, so we can do another quest a little bit later once we deliver that box and explore that box.
I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of Tatooine so I can find Jagi and kill him for his insult to me. This is between me and Jagi. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes.
Got something on your... Bad men. Women too, to be fair. Oh, indeed. They make a fine sandwich also.
That is just so sexist, man. Fucking they make a good sandwich, dude.
And just what gave you the impression that I know anything more about the Sith than you do? Oh, that's right. Damn the years of the young. I was expecting you to be your usual inattentive self when I mentioned that. So it's true, yes. I fought plenty of Sith. That was during the time of Exar Kun. Oh, 40 years ago now. Has it been that long? Exar was a Jedi who was corrupted by ghosts of the old Sith, or so they say. He attempted to conquer the Republic and create a new golden age of the Sith. Better to say he was defeated, but essentially, yes. The victory did not come easily, however. That is not a pleasant time to remember. After Exar Kun fell to the dark side, he attempted to recruit other Jedi to his cause. What surprised us, what took us completely unprepared, was how utterly successful he was. Many Jedi joined him and became Sith themselves. Why they did,
He was a great influencer, Exar Kun, to the dark side. Regular Jedi to the dark side. It was... He was very persuasive, very good at that.
Yes, more than difficult. Next to impossible. How do you fight against someone you love? I dislike such memories. It leaves a taste in the mouth that... it is a sadness I thought I'd put aside long ago. Ask me about the war some other time, just not now. I would prefer to be by myself for now.
How can I
Talk to Bastila again?
Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, considering our bond. Yes, there is something I would like to ask, if you'll permit it. Don't even start with that. You're the one who asked. I wasn't even going to say anything. But now that you've brought it up, I see I shouldn't have waited as long as I have. In our time together, I've been watching you. You are a true servant of the light. You follow the tenets of the Jedi Order despite the lure of the dark side. And with so little training. For me, it has always been a constant battle. Don't you find it difficult at all? You make it seem so easy. Or is that only an illusion?
I just do what I think is right.
And that's enough for you. If only it were as easy for me. If only the right path was always clear. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger.
And that's her weakness, Bastila.
My instructors constantly berated me for it.
She's too uptight too. That's a negative too for her.
I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side. I don't know. Would the power I use to kill Darth Malak be too tempting to keep using? Would I become the kind of evil I want to destroy? The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak, I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I...
yeah.
Wait,
you never know.
I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? And even worse, who am I to try and make you question them? These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind.
She's hitting on me. God damn. Third time now. Is a charm.
How can I help?
Let's talk about what you said before about giving in to your emotions.
Yes, I did end that quite abruptly, didn't I? Perhaps a master could have addressed my questions with the proper wisdom, but I never should have brought it up here. Not with you. Part of my purpose on this mission was to guide you in the way of the light, to help you avoid the temptations of the dark side. But I fear I've failed in that task. I don't think I'm the proper Jedi to guide you. I'm no master. You should have remained with the Council. Perhaps you're not being truly objective then. There's no need to spare my feelings on this point. The fact of the matter is I have never possessed much skill at controlling myself. With the bond that joins us, it seems I have even less. You have maintained the path of the light side, but it has been in spite of my influence, not because of it. It's increasingly obvious I am unable to guide you properly.
So there's also a reason why I'm talking to Bastila a million times, because in the next mission, basically after that mission, we're going to be stuck there, and I'm not going to have a chance to talk to her ever again after that point. So I want to just get this over with before we actually, you know, move on to the next place, for sure.
And I can see there is wisdom in your words. You continue to be there for me, don't you? Even after I keep pushing you away, you're still around when I need you most. You're like no man I've known before. And you're nothing like what I expected you to be after the...
She's really digging me. We're made for each other, Bastila. You have to see that.
I need time to think about all this. They're not going as I thought they would. We should continue on with our mission for now. How can I help?
Gotta finish our conversation, Bastila. When we last talked, you said you need some time to think.
I suppose you deserve an answer. But you have to understand how difficult this is for me to say. With all my training, I should be able to control myself better than this. But you're not like anything I expected. You're not like any man I've ever met before. I find myself watching you when I don't mean to. I'm thinking about you when I don't want to. It isn't supposed to be like this. Every time I try to call on all my teachings to calm myself, they fail me. You have such power, such passion. I don't know if it's due to the bond between us, but...
Let's use that passion in bed. Are you interested in me or in my ability to use the Force?
The Force is a part of you, as is your power.
You can actually decline her completely, but I do not recommend at all.
Maybe it's the bond.
I mean, how can you just reject Bastila, man? Come on.
Intimacy. If I could, I would return to Dantooine. I need to be away from this bond of ours. I need to weaken it. I need to be anywhere but near you. But Malak must be stopped. My own feelings are nothing when compared to that. Yet I know this could affect the sake of our mission if it's not resolved. I can't let that happen.
Just give in to your feelings, Bastila. I know you want to.
I think we should have some privacy for this. Come with me. You're stronger than I am, and there's no point in telling me otherwise. You will be a great Jedi, I think. I hope. In some ways you make me feel weak, like I'm caught up in the wake of our destiny. But at the same time, you make me feel stronger, more alive. I realize now these feelings are part of the bond we share. The Jedi Council surely realized this. They knew my loyalty to the doctrines of our order would be tested on this mission. By facing and overcoming my feelings for you, I've learned a valuable lesson about control and the dangers of emotion. This is an important step in understanding the Force. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but I felt that it was important you know our infatuation was nothing more than a result of our powerful bond.
You're rationalizing, Bastila. You're just scared to face the truth.
You're the one who can't face the truth. Malak has to be stopped. How can I do that if I let myself be blind? You mean it, don't you? But how can I be sure you're not making a mistake?
So she's pretty much acting like how guys are when girls are hitting on guys and the guys are really shy and awkward about it. So she's pretty much acting like that right now, but in present day, like with dorky guys and stuff and girls hitting on them and they just don't know how to react and what to do. That's pretty much Bastila in a sense. See, just like this. Look at that. Shut up and kiss me, you babbling fool. Exactly. That's how it is, man. Love me. You just say shut up and kiss me. That's a good one. That's a really good one. And you pretty much kiss her. You don't see it, but they kissed.
Oh my. We shouldn't have done that. It was wrong. The Jedi are not allowed to fall in love.
It didn't feel wrong to me.
It was a moment of weakness. When I kissed you, we shouldn't have. I'm sorry. No, I know we both wanted it, but we shouldn't have given in to our desire. We're Jedi. We can't act like this. Not now. Not while we still have to deal with Malak.
So she's pretty much like acting like a dork, pretty much, because she's a Jedi, she doesn't really understand how romance and stuff like that works. You know, most Jedi are like that. They're very awkward about that. So I'm going to talk to Bastila one more final time for this video, and then that will be it.
We've already been over this. It was a moment of weakness.
And that's pretty much it. This is the last dialogue choice we're going to have with the conversation we're going to have with Bastila until we face her again. We'll see her again later on in the game. But yeah, this is pretty much it. These are all the fucking conversations I had for this. I know this is really long, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.